Welcome to the stream. So we are back again at the compiler side project. Yeah, we basically actually want to do that and finish it because it's kind of a cool thing and I kind of like it and stuff like that. Let's get the chat here. Okay. Can I? Bro, how do you do that? Wait, like that, yeah. Okay. Nice. What are we doing today? So first of all, let's go into build. Hello, what's up? What's up, guys? Welcome. So we have a redefinition. Okay, that's actually good because of this semantic analyzer. It's basically checking, okay, we have this twice, so let's not have that twice. Hello, brother, what's up? Hope you remember. Yeah, hope you remember me. Yeah, I think I do. Been a while. I think I recognize your profile picture. Okay, yeah. I didn't do that on stream, so we basically now have. Is there a Discord server? We currently don't have a Discord server. Are you a CS grad? No. Bro, on your GitHub there are Randar and Boron dots. Probably mean Ragnar. So the thing is about Boron, like this bar here, which is actually kind of a cool bar, but this is like a build from 11 months ago. There's not really dot files because I wrote them for myself basically. It's not really streamlined. I mean, you could theoretically do, you go into your dev and then you clone Boron, and then you already have Boron. And then you git check out some, I think, wait, where's the thread save rendering? Basically, there's one commit that you can check out. I need to find it, wait. It's like a mess, so I wouldn't recommend it, but so you can check out this commit, one before this commit, so this commit, so AW, yeah, and then you can check the config, I guess, source/config.h, and yeah, and then you can configure the bar. What do you think about Rust? Yeah, I think it's cool. Bro, what link don't work anymore? Ah, yeah. I think it's because, wait, I can generate a new one. I think I can. I'm not logged into Discord, man. Can you suggest some books for low-level programming like these, which make me clear how really core things happen? I don't really know any books. I didn't read any books, to be honest. I can't really give you any book recommendations. So basically what I was trying to show, look at this. This is like a complex expression, and our AST can now evaluate that. We can have a binary operation that is nested, and it's really easy. But what we want to do today is implement if statements. So yeah, I think we already have keywords for if and stuff like that in here, if as well for. You should look into Nix, yeah, probably. So what we kind of want is we want to parse we want to, where do we parse Vardacus? So ast emit varnode parse identifier. And where do we call parse identifier? In parse statement. Okay. So yeah, okay. So then we can check if parser have. We should probably do something like an else if. So why don't you build anything with Rust? It would help me to build my profile with Rust. Yeah, I don't know, because I kind of enjoy C more and I'm better at C, so I write things faster there, I guess. So when we have an if, then let's have parser parse if with the parser. Where do we have parser parse block ident? Yeah, let's just put that here. It's Chad answer, bro. What font is that? I think Victor Mono. Parser parse if, right? So parsing an if statement is actually a thing that is a thing, man. So we basically want, I'm wondering if I should pull out the draw.io. I just got an ad. Bro, I'm very sorry, but it's actually because YouTube monetized the channel. I don't really have a clue why they did that. I'm sorry for that, but still, like, thank you, I guess. Thank you for receiving an ad. It's crazy. Okay, so we have an if statement. What I wanted to try and do, yeah, let's pull it out, right? So an if statement. What the fuck, man? Why is it like that? What? Like an if statement. So if we want something like if, and if has children, and those children, oh my god, those children, can you please work? I hate programs like this because they never really work. Yeah, that's just insane. Yeah, that works, right? So the if statement has a children, and the children is the condition. So it's a completely separate AST node. So condition, and then it has a like then block, and we should probably also encode an else block already, you know, because then each if statement can have a else statement that is like optional, and then else if already works out of the box, because each else statement can then have a then statement and also an if statement. So we should probably have it like this. So fucking else block, right? And they are all separate subtrees. I just gave you $0.0001. Thank you. Try TLDraw, Figma. I tried the same projects you did in the channel in Rust, and it didn't really go well. Yeah. It's just being Rust. It's just being Rust being Rust. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So the if statement should probably have something like an AST node, then, and an AST node, else. But I'm wondering. Yeah, definitely an else, right? But the else, just download the font. It's just downloaded the font. It's nice, or just download the font. Penguin operator, what's up, man? What's up? Great to see you. Yeah, I'm wondering. We should probably have it like this. So the else. Oh my god, this is so like dumb. Else block, and then like cont, and that's what this if statement will have. Yeah. So let's have a struct. Yeah, we probably want to parser consume first, so parser tk l parent and tk r parent after, and then we just want to parse the expression. So we just want to say something like struct. Are you doing linking too, by the way? Yes. Kind of, yeah. Because what I'm trying to do at the end is also cinterop. So yeah. AST node, we have like the expression is equal to parser parse expression. Yeah, we can just parse the expression, right? So like that, and then You're writing in German, but the German is like, I thought I understand German, you know. Anthropic failed to get hello world to compile after. Yeah. I also already saw that, or also saw that. That's great, man. Now the question is, okay, so after the L parent, yeah, we want to say something like parser consume tk l brace, and then, or does the block already? Yeah, I think the block already does that. So let's just have struct ast node, but then is equal to parser parse block parser, and then we say struct. Yeah, then we can say something like if parser have parser tk else, then we want to say struct parse. So C99 or not? It's not C99, no. Gap. Okay. Nein, ich bin nicht russische. Okay. So I just read that. It's basically, he says that he's not Russian. Let's have else. Oh my god, you can't have else like that. Else block is equal to parser parse block parser. Right, and then we probably want something like struct else block is equal to null. And the else, I'm wondering. Because I'm wondering about else ifs. But I think we can wonder after we got ifs working. Alright, so where do we have all of the... Let's first have parser parse if in here. In the static declarations. Oh, we forgot static. So let's have struct be replaced with static struct. Oh my fuck. Let's have struct replaced with static struct. Thank you. Okay. Elif are just needed in the else node. Are just nested in the else node. Syntactic sugar. Yeah. It's basically an if nested in the else node, right? That's what I'm thinking about. I'm trying to build a tiling window manager in C for Xorg. Do we have any recommendation? I mean, you can look at the source code of Ragnar. I think it's pretty well documented. What I am ast emit if node. Yeah. So we definitely also want to emit we want to separately emit else nodes, right? Yeah, read DWM, I think it's it's like it's very like, it's a psychosis to read, I might say. You're getting some kind of illness from that, I guess. Okay, so we want to pause the if node, and we want to have a then, basically, and also a struct ast node condition, and emit else nodes. How old are you? 17. Okay, so we probably also want a struct ast node and an else node, because then we can have we can emit an if node, and the if node is going to have a subtree of an else node. Yeah. No update on Ragnar though. Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but I think the project is finished. Let's, by the way, enable animations. So let's have that. Can you show the language you will compile? Probably. PCOM dots. The situation with my PCOM is kind of weird because I have a that's basically the language I will compile. I have a some kind of weird binary of PCOM that is I don't really know how I got it. I think it's some kind of commit from 3 years ago, and it's very specific, and it's also from a fork, obviously. But the fork doesn't really even exist anymore. And I can share the binary, but I think it's the best PCOM. Look at it. It's so nice. But I also can't really share it, so... Because, I don't know, I could upload the binary somewhere. I don't know. So we want to... Yes, please. I think I have that somewhere, actually, like already uploaded. I think it's called pcom-port. Yeah, 2 years ago. I think it's that. You just have to copy those binaries into your bin. Yeah, and then you use that pcom. It's only, oh no, here's the config, and then use that config. Your keyword, very thocky. Thank you, man. So we want to say n. Bro, I need to quit nvim because it stopped working. What do you think about the new theme? Do you like it, or should I switch to the normal theme? Been bad. What do you mean? Let's have the, yeah, let's just call it like this and then return n. No enough color, use kit Puchin theme. Yeah, I don't really like that theme. Okay. The thing is, the thing is that we don't want an else block in the if statement. I hate to break it to you. Theme name. I don't know. I really don't know. Net.lua theme. I have no idea, man. Themes. ZRC. This is the theme. Obsidian Ember. Nice. Okay, so else block, let's not have that. The question is if yeah, we probably want them separated for memory reasons, I guess. Else node is basically that, and we say if else. Okay, so where do we pass the if node? Parse if. Yeah, we just want to parse the block, and does parsing a block call parse statement? Yes, that's very good. Okay, so we want to parse the block, and then we just return ask to emit if node with this, let's call this cont. We want to have a cont and a then, and the else node is legacy. We don't need that. What's the difference between a compiler and interpreter? Basically, a compiler. It feels like a fucking job interview, man. No, a compiler is something that actually generates the assembly, I guess, or like doesn't just execute in a runtime that is already pre-built. It's basically generating the runtime, I guess, or like the runtime code. And an interpreter would just have each instruction would be interpreted by another program and then executed inside the program. Yeah. That's why you start Python files with Python, because Python is a program that's interpreting the file. Yeah. Where do we have the if? If. By the way, the else doesn't have a condition. Right. Incompatible integer to pointer conversion. Parser parse if. Why is it not there? Hello. Like that. That's basically it, right? Parser parse if. Why is it still complaining? Parse. All right. Just like that. Else. Emit else node. I think because parsing an else statement is so easy, we're just going to say something like else if parser have parser tk else parser consume parser tk else. What are your goals for the language? I actually have the goal of writing a custom text editor in the language. So I can say I wrote a custom language to write a custom editor to write my custom language. Yeah, that's very psychotic, I know, but it's going to be done. Show the language spec. That's the language spec, okay? Why C and not C++ for that? Because C++ is bloat, man. Not enough Makefile. Hat dieser Projekt eine Repository? Kannst du ihre Link geben? It actually has a link, like the repository of the language. But it's private. I don't know if it's a good move to have it private. Yeah, the aim is just a project for the holidays because we have holidays in Germany. I think I'm going to make the repo public because I'm streaming it, so why wouldn't I? I have to use GitHub Mobile. Oh my god, man. I can't use it. I can't make it public. I'm sorry. I will make it public after the stream because my phone is not currently usable. Very cool, thank you. Actually, we have something like parser match, I think, which automatically consumes if it's a match. Yeah. So if parser match else, then we want to say we want to say return AST emit else node with parser parse block. All right. How many mallocs? Should I grab for malloc? All right. Are you going to make this language public? Have its pub GitHub repo? Yeah, I just said that. So basically, I can't make it public currently, but I will make it public in the next stream. You should count them with alloc stats. Is it like some library you made? Or why are you advertising for that so much? Why mallocs and not good locks? Very funny, man. Question mark noted. All right. I think let's try and do something like actually using our if statements. So if 9 plus 3. We can just do something like this. We don't have equal yet. Yeah, so let's do that. Basically, if 9 plus 3. And yeah, we should be able to parse that. Unexpected token ident. Expected token ident. Got if. Is that in the lexer? Expect, no. That wouldn't make sense actually. Expected token. Ah. So it's expecting an identifier. Okay. Why is it expecting an identifier? It shouldn't expect an identifier. Do you know French? No, I hate French. It's like the worst language ever. I had it like for 5 years in my school, but I never really managed to learn it. Yeah. So I think parser consume. So we just have to search for parser consume identifier. It's in parser parse function. Aha. What? Wait. We consume an identifier? That doesn't make sense. Or does it? I think it actually makes sense. Wait, is it printf got here? Is it because of this? What the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah, we have to make it simpler. Let's go to, I think we actually got here because it printed twice. Yeah. Got token if. So you expect an identifier at parser parse block, but it just consumes a L brace. Did anyone here try kernel from scratch? Was it good? I still struggling to connect C++ file when I need it. I understand only French. Unspoken I die. Ah, written French, okay. Say something in German. Hallo. Okay, so where do we expect an identifier? Does that expect an identifier? No. When we parse a block, we parse a statement. Ah. Can it be the case? We definitely need something like print all tokens. We do need something like print all tokens. It's really important. Die Kamera hindert den Code. Oh. Hey, thank you, man. Why didn't anyone tell me that? I'm very sorry. That's actually very bad because you couldn't see anything and you didn't even care, guys. Why? Let's actually not have a secure entity. Let's have a size TI. to 0, I is less than Lexa, tox n, I++, printf, token, and let's just print the token names because, or like, okay, maybe like Stervel, Ival, and this just tk lex, tk to string, Lexa, tox at I, the type, and this is just Lexa, the tox at I, and Stervel, and Lexa, tox at I, that I will. And we don't want the \n before actually printing the other shit, right? Okay, and we don't want to return anything, right? Oh, let's, yeah, I have the thing of in that code base actually having a return value for everything. So if not Lexa, return 0, return 1, and then return 0, and so on. Let's just print it like that. Let's not get like into printing any sorts of sugar on top of that, like this. Okay, so let's have in just let's print all Alexa. Okay, so we have a identifier main, token identifier, if number plus number identify, it's all correct. Oh, you got it, man. Bro, the bridge is not going to be explained further. Yeah. Anyone like Go more than any language except Rust? I recently got to know Go and it's the best I've seen. Like, I don't need to write any header file itself. It's the best, lol. Yeah. Not writing header files is a language concern. Okay. I don't know. So what the actual... Are we trying to parse an identifier? Because this is like the only time where we consume an identifier, right? Or is it maybe because of... Do we even parse if correctly? Wait, do we even have tk if, token if? Okay, but that's because of the keyboard keywords being printed differently. Let's check if we actually parse an if. Parsing if. We're not parsing an if. We're not parsing an if, okay. Or are we parsing an if? We are probably parsing an if, right? But or are we actually not doing it? We're actually completely not doing it. Bro, what? What do you mean we don't call it? You can join Goko Craze Discord server and I try helping. What's the... can you actually send a link to the Discord server? Because I am not logged into Discord. Okay, after parsing if, we also obviously have to consume an if. What's the praiser count now? What? How do I get to your level? I don't know, like, what even is my level? unknown AST node. Okay, that's great. That means it works, because we print the AST and we just don't print an if. So let's have case AST if. There are better guides and books now, but I still think MU 8086 is the fastest way. What is that? Goldberg AO. Alright. Let's have a if statement. Yeah, basically if statement. Let's just say if statement. And then we want to AST print node dot if statement dot then and indent +1. And cont is also indent +1. Here's the invite code. Okay, great. Can I put that in the description? Is that I never use Discord, so is that something Discord users can actually use easily? Alright, so I started C++ a few months ago and also tried to make simple language for it. It helps when I push myself to learn. Yeah, man. Keep going. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should print the condition also with an indent. But yeah, I think it's okay because it's also a subtree. Yeah, okay, so let's have that. Why do we do this? This is so weird. This is just very, very weird. Let's just have block list. What does block in general? Just a block, man. So block function main, block if statement, binary expression, block. Okay, so that's actually working normally. IDK dropped out of college. Is there any jobs for assembly developer? I don't know. Assembly developer is crazy. But probably yes, actually. Let's also print an else. Okay, so let's try if 9 plus 3, else hello By the way, why is the semantic analyzer not caring about our functions not being defined? Can't really see if the else statement, yeah, it's the same. Okay. Okay, and then let's try else if. No, not I just, okay, like this. All right, so when we emit an else node, AST emit else node, we don't want to match, we also actually want Yeah, when we match an else, then we don't want to immediately parse a block. We just want to parse a block when so if basically if parser have parser tk l curly brace, then we want to parse the block, and else we just want to return parser parse statement parser. What is AST print? It's just printing the subtree again, so it's basically recursively calling itself with more indent. Okay, let's see if our else if now works. Function if statement. Yeah, we also want to emit an else node, obviously. I'm wondering. Yeah, we should probably emit an else node like this. Yeah. Humans have 7 plus minus 2 attention. Why should we put our energy with that limited attention to become a systems developer? Like, can't we do something better with all limitations? Bro. No, I didn't read any books. I'm just a random guy trying to write a language, I guess. Okay, now that we have if and else done, and else if done in the AST, we need our IR to work. But before that, I saw that the semantic analyzer is like not working correctly. Okay, let's try and semantically analyze this. Redefinition. And when I say k is equal to high, not working. Okay, so let's see. I think it's in here. So when we have an identifier, looking up identifier, you use LLVM? No, I don't use LLVM. To write the compiler, or are you writing frontend and backend? Isn't it better to use LLVM? No, it's bloat. We actually never doing that. What? I know why. I think because the var declaration doesn't semantically analyze the value. Right? We definitely want to do that. Yep. Okay, let's try cause. So let's just try print k. High is still undeclared, so let's have 11. Call to undeclared function print. But also, I think a call is also part of a list, or basically has a list. Meaning we want to semantically analyze all of the children in the list of the call with the current scope though. And let's check, let's actually make a function print. First. Works normally. Let's also print hello. Okay, hello is undeclared. So let's remove that. Okay. Let me check how we want the IR to look for if else, because I wrote it down. I think it's actually pretty easy. What we I assume the compiler is .iv. It's the language is called EVAR, meaning the extension is IV. Yeah. All right. For the if statement, it's actually pretty easy, I guess. Much love. I love your words. Thank you, man. Could you summarize what are you right now in the development phase and what's... Okay, so basically, let's go into IVAR. We have this roadmap. We implemented the Alexa already. So tokenization, we implemented the AST. Those are like kind of like, ignore them. It's just the AST basically, we implemented that. Semantic analysis. And currently we are implementing IR, but only like TACIR, meaning 3 attribute code. So basically each IR operation or instruction has a maximum of 3 operations or operands. For example, the instruction of adding 2 numbers would have the destination as 1, then the first number and the second number. And this is the 3 operands, and we are basically doing the IR currently. And we have functions, meaning each function is going to be in its own IR block. And yeah, we have variables, and we also have support for basic arithmetic like this. Right, so we can generate our immediate representation already, and then from the immediate representation we kind of generate assembly, but it's not really that easy because we want to implement SSA. But what we're trying to do now is exactly this. Look, what we're trying to do now is IR conditionals. Conditionals. Oh, you don't write that like that. Conditionals. Conditionals? Yes. Okay, so we're doing our conditionals. Yeah, that's basically what we're doing. So, and our conditionals are just like jump instructions and labels. Yeah. So let's, yeah, that's literally it. Because when you have something like, let's say we have something if x print x, then the IR would just be, we want to evaluate the condition first, meaning we say something like load v0 x. This is like the first virtual register. And then we say jump if, basically if false, right? So jump if false v0 and label 1 or something, or label 0. And then we just have call print x or something. Yeah, we figured it out. We don't even have calls yet, by the way. And then here we just have L0 and then something like return or something, right? That's basically what we're doing, right? Right. Yeah. All right, so let's have a IR jump if, or jump if false, and also jump if. Yeah. And it's telling me this. This is so dumb. I think we will need the correct generation. Should we do that now? Yeah, okay. We do it. So what we will need is, let's borrow that from Lex. Yeah, we basically need this, because then the strings will be encoded in the same spot where the actual macro is, which is actually very nice. And we have something like x. That's going to be IR list. And let's have I don't know how you'd stringify stuff. Yeah, I really don't know. Let's just do that. Simple and easy task. IR diff, IR mul. That's what AI is for, by the way. IR add, IR jump if false, IR jump if, and then we can do shit like that. Oh my fucking god. Okay, then like this. Wait, do we? Yeah, probably need a comma, right? No comma? Yeah, okay, we can also insert it. So like that, like that. This is probably what junior devs do. Just joking out. Bro. Yeah, and then we want exactly that. like this. And then for the actual strings, what the? What? What do you mean, man? Let's see what he means, right? Because token types is empty, or what's your problem? What? What language are you implementing? It's called IR. That's my own custom language. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea what is this warning even about? IR list X. Do we need okay. Okay. Okay, okay, I'm sorry, man. This took way too long to realize. Okay, and then we can basically copy. It can be messy sometimes for me, yeah. Instant sub, bro. Yeah, thank you. Let's go. So we basically need something like our IR type to stir, and we want to pass an IR type, and basically, yeah, like this function is so like we don't really need to use it for anything. It's just for basically for printing, right? So that we can print our IR correctly. So let's yoink this and put it here. I'll join tomorrow, hoping you would advise me if I try to do the same. How much time would it take if you try to build a compiler next time? I would like to hear the pain points. So you're joining in tomorrow, but basically you want to know if you want to make your own compiler, what are the pain points, right? So if you mean that, then probably like everything I did for now is actually very easy. It's not really a pain point. So I think the main pain points are not like AST building or like lexing or semantic analysis or IR in TAC mode. It's probably going to be SSA, yeah. So if you want to implement a compiler and with SSA, then SSA is probably like the main pain point, and like implementing control flow graphs and fucking register allocation. This is going to be the actual pain. So basically the back of the backend. Let's check if it's type. And now let's go and actually do. After that, we actually need to clean up that whole mess here, by the way. It's not really a mess, but it's not that good. I'm doing something similar to it. It's called Skull. Is it also a programming language? So let's check if we have node type equal AST if we have an AST if. I'm wondering. We should, yeah. I am actually looking at the thing I wrote down. I wrote it down somewhere here, but I deleted it earlier. So that's actually dumb. I would kind of need that now. But what I'm trying to think of is we want to parse the expression first, or like the condition. Meaning, how do we, yeah, okay, we IR gen like this. So let's have IR value. My neovim is already fed up again, so let's close that like this. So IR value. Nice. Do you have a GitHub link or something? I would love to check it out. We basically generate expression for the current function with the AST node being node.if statement.condition, right? So that is basically the condition. How would you recommend me to learn compiler theory? I've mostly just been overshooting my way through it. Overshooting probably, not knowing things like SSA or pret, parsers, etc. I'm learning them on the fly. Yeah, same. I started the compiler yesterday, so I'm not an expert at all. I just kind of digged through everything while doing it, and I laid out the roadmap, and now I'm basically completing the goals on the roadmap here. And yeah. And then if I kind of need to know what the thing is, then I just look it up. But mostly I already did that in planning, and now I'm just like implementing it. Bro, my eyes are kind of hurting today. What the fuck? Whatever. Let's actually... Okay, so we gen the condition, and let's put that here. So... Oh man, you saw yesterday. That's impressive. Yeah. Thank you. So what we... Yeah, we have the condition, and then we want a jump. Basically, we want to emit a jump, right? Yeah, that's actually what we want to do. So let's IR emit func struct IR instruction dot type is equal to IR jump if false, and name, we don't need a name. But yeah, we actually need a label, right? So that's where labels comes in, or labels come in. Cur rec and cur label. What the? Okay. So we definitely need a label we are keeping track of, and then we also need a size t label, and let's have something like yeah, this should be a size t, by the way. Yeah, or let's have it all be a IR value then, because it's actually, yeah, it's okay, because IR values are also in 64Ts. It's okay. So let's have that all be that, and then let's have an IR next label, and it's just incrementing cur label. So we emit jump if false to label, and then we want to basically emit a new label. So IR value end label, or like end label is equal to IR next label func, and label is equal to end label, and op1 will be cont. So that's what we're emitting. And then we just want an IR value. We don't even need the value for that. No, we don't need the value for that. So we just want to IR gen program func node if statement.then. And then we want to emit a label, right? So let's have IR label is IR label. So we basically want to emit a struct IR instruction dot type is equal to IR label, and dot label is equal to end label. So that's where the label actually will be, right? Yeah, that's the if, I guess, right? Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm wondering why the how do you do that again with B? Yeah, because my window manager is keeping track of all the struts, it's called in X11, that are on the screen, and then like making the layout not be above them. So that's why the windows are not above the bar. But normally it's just normally calculating it, but now it's like way too big. Let's try and p-kill my bar. And it's still doing, no, now it's working. So let's have that. Okay, so it was some kind of problem, I don't know. Okay. That looks better, right? Let's try and see. Too few arguments. Why are you passing Alexa, man? Okay, so let's have case IR jump if false. We want to just printf instruction dest. It will have dest and it will have label, then L, and this is going to be dest and this is going to be label, just like that. Okay, so jump if false and then jump if. It's going to be literally the same thing. And then a label, right? IR label. Instruction label. And it's just going to print the label. All right. Yeah, let's try. But we cannot really do. Let's have if k print 1. Okay. So function 0 is empty. Function 1 declares a const 9, yeah. Then it stores in name L. It stores name L in v0, and v0 is 9. Then it has 11, and it stores name k in v1. Then we load v2 into, no, we load into v2 k. Is that what we actually want to do? Yeah. That's kind of confusing for me, but okay. Yo, Mr. X. Welcome. Okay, so we're basically loading. That's also correct because we are first evaluating the condition of the statement. And then we are emitting jump if false. Destination is v0. Okay. But that doesn't really make sense, right? Because v0 is completely unrelated to that. But label is actually correct. Okay, so let's investigate. The if is going to have op1. Do we even print op1? No, we print dest. So we should print op1. All right. Still not working. Ah, bruh. Okay. Okay. Because we changed the wrong thing. Now it works. Nice. So we check if this is false, then we jump to label 0, and label 0 is just that. Great. That's so cool. And now for else, I wrote it down. What the fuck? I can't really decipher what I meant, but let's check. So for else, what we kind of want is that neovim? Yes, it's neovim. We basically want the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it now. I think I get it now. Okay, so what we want is a unconditional jump, basically. What color scheme? What distro do you use? What is that them? We are basically using. Where was it? Yeah, let's just reopen it. It's we're basically using this theme, Obsidian Ember, and we're using NVChad, and we are using the I like how I always say the Arch distro. And yeah, that's all of the questions, right? Okay, let's see. We also want a IR. Is that Neri? No, it's my own window manager, Ragnar. What about co-working on the future text editor and currently EVAR? Basically, EVAR needs to be ready to write a text editor to edit itself. So that's kind of a stretch yet, like writing a text editor in the language, but that's like the goal, by the way, if anyone new is watching. So the language is written so that I can write a text editor in the language to edit a file of the language. And what would be very insane, but like I'm not like this is already insane, but what would be like the most insane thing ever would be writing a language, to write an editor in that language, to write a compiler for the language, in the editor that's written in the language. But this is like no. What do you think is a good way to learn CPP for newcomers? CPP. I think the channel is a very great channel. Actually, check him out. I think jump if is like very, I don't know if we will ever need it. So we basically want to generate something like this. Look. For if x print 1 else print 2. We want to generate IR like this. IR load v0 x IR jump if false. Now the question, yeah, if false, then we don't want to jump. Then we basically want to jump to after the body. Meaning so we basically want to jump if false v0. So if that is false, we want to jump to the else label. And then we have the so then we have just call print on or something like irconst v1 call print v1, I guess. Switch chat context. Maybe make a JIT compiled to compile scripts for the editor. Yeah, like JIT compilation is a thing that I didn't choose for a reason. So I will not do JIT compilation now because like I'm already into writing the compiler not JIT compiled, right? And I think it's better that way, actually, because JIT compilation is like, it feels like a basically like a shortcut, right? Okay, so then we want but then we basically want else label, and else label will just have yeah, I mean, we don't really need to jump at all. In the else label, we just need to do the thing. So we want something like v2 2 print v2, and this is like the else label. But then we want something like after we did that, we definitely want to jump to end label, and end label will be here. That's basically what we will do, right? This is the mental model. Yeah, they removed cout. That's actually crazy, right? All right. So if false else label, but the else label, we generate our own label in the if, meaning that we also yeah, I mean, that actually does that actually kind of work? I think it does. Because when we just say that the else skips itself, then like the else token, or like the else in general, like the else will just generate its IR. And the then block, yeah, that actually works, because the then block already generates its, like, it only generates itself, right? And we emit the label after here, meaning that it doesn't really work that way. This is a different kind of label. This is the end label. So, but every else has a predecessor of an if, meaning we could just do something like when we have an if, we generate if we had else, I mean. But then this doesn't make sense, and we just want to jump to it's kind of not possible without actually linking the else statement of an if, right? Because if we had linked the else to the if, then we can just do let's say we have an if, then we can just do then, and we then just generate the yeah, then we just generate the else, and the end label and the else label. So we need to link them. It's not even like a bad thing, but yeah, just a thing in general, right? So let's link them, I guess. What font is that? Else statement problems? Yeah, man. Victor Mono font. Victor Mono nerd font. So let's have in. So if we have an else, but an else should also parse its own ifs. Meaning we can't just put the else into the if. Yeah, I would do it that way. Just add an optional else brush into the if struct. Yeah. But how do we keep track of the if struct? Because currently we are just parsing the if struct, and if we have an else struct, we parse the else struct completely separated to the if struct. Right? But the if part of the else if is just inside the else block. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what we kind of are doing now. But so you mean yeah. Let's just check after we parse the block, do we have an else? If we have an else, then we emit the else node so we basically emit the else node, so else node that looks kind of ugly, so let's do it like this. And then we can just do emit if node, and then we just have a struct ast node else node and emit if node struct ast node else node, and yeah, then we do dot else. Yeah, let's have it called else statement because we are using it from outside the AST. What are you working on right now? I'm working on if statements in the IR. So else nodes, right? All right. So yeah, like that, and that's basically that. Right, gamers? So I'm not sure if this actually is going to work, because yeah, it sounds pretty like, you know. Let's actually try and just print this AST. Okay, so we have an if statement with identifier k with 2 blocks. Yeah, that's correct, I think, because the block is coming from the print statement. Yeah. Why are we not printing calls correctly, by the way? Is AST call not correctly done? Or are we just not printing them? AST call. Let's have if node type equal AST call. Then let's have call to, and then like node type. Bro, why, Neovim, why are you doing that? Call to nodes dot call dot name, and then we say else. We just have a regular block, and yeah. So let's actually have the call again. Where did you first learn C? I made a engine in C 4 years ago or something. Let's actually check that out. Because before that I made an engine in C++, a game engine. Look, Sengen, engine in C without minimal dependencies. Bro. What? Why? I definitely meant with minimal dependencies. Why did I say without any dependencies? Without minimal dependencies? Yeah. I was like, how old was I? 12 or something. Yo, that's actually, that would be a cool code review. Yo, it's actually some code. I'm wondering if I could get it working on Linux. Yeah, probably, right? Is the project up on GitHub? I can't seem to find it. What do you mean? What project? This project? It's in Sengen, Sengen. Or do you mean the language? The language is here, but it's private yet. Like, it's still private, and I want to unprivate it. Like, I want to unprivate the project, but I can't because my phone is being used as the camera here, and I need to use a phone for that because it needs like the identification. It's crazy watching you do this at 17. Meanwhile, I'm 22 in uni and still dog shit at coding. Yeah. I probably you're not that shit as you think, because I don't know. I'm also not the best at coding, I guess. Like, retalk. We should do a code review of this project and you will see. Like, of the Sengen. It would be actually pretty wild. Like, a stream code reviewing like 4-year-old projects. What IR are you lowering it to? QBE, LLVM, or a custom one? I'm using a custom one. Like, I'm writing a TAC and then lowering the TAC into SSA, and then the SSA to assembly. Yeah, it's not that clean, but that's basically the path. How did you make the README at the account? Just create the readme.md file, right? Just do stuff. A week ago, I didn't even know how a JIT emulator works. Now I can already generate efficient IR. Yeah, man. Luigi is the most based guy, right? Always listen to Luigi. Custom assembly path, bold move. Yeah, man. QBE is sweet. Sweet, man. Okay, so call to print number 1. Okay, so this is still working, and then else print 2. Okay, it's not working. Is it because... Okay, why should that be? Yeah, man. 10 p.m. stream, no, 9 p.m. stream, yeah. Parsing an if, we check if we have an else. Yeah, why shouldn't that work? Okay, I have an else. We have an else. Just because of the printing. Because now else nodes are always inside of an if node. So else statement, we just check if if statement.else statement, then we want to print the else statement, and this doesn't exist anymore. It still exists. Okay. No likes when you open the account and there are all of your language. You mean this? Wait. You mean this? This is just the README. Yeah, you can do these stats and stuff and skills. It's all like, yeah, you can easily generate that, right? With links. How come you treat a function call statement as a block? By block, do you mean semantic scope or something else? Where did you see that? You mean here? Blocks are just AST nodes that have an arbitrary list of children. That is what a block is. Yeah. That is what a block is. I got it, thanks. Yeah, man. What is Anurag? Anurag is... Yeah, it's a GitHub stats. GitHub readme stats, you can like check it out. But it's not really working anymore. Like it's supposed to look like this. I don't know why it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. How do you handle numbers like 1, 3, 4 ABC? Is it a bad token or just 2 tokens like 1, 3? It's just 2 tokens, I think. or a bad token. I really don't know. I did the tokenizer yesterday. I would have to check, but one or the other. Okay, and now in the IR, we can correctly handle else's. So ifs stay the same. So let's have, if we have an if, it just stays the same. So let's try just having an if. And let's have something like j, because of IR not having calls yet. Okay, so let's have this, and then let's not exit here. Did you have some macro to populate the struct with some AST stuff? Yeah, I have this macro, so that I can easily print the AST and stuff. Yeah, that's still looking correct. Yeah. Okay, then let's just implement this. So jump if false, v0 else label, and else label will just be end label, so meaning we will say something like if if node.if statement.else statement, then we will generate IR for the else statement, and also say we then want to generate a jump before that. Yeah, to the end label, meaning we want an else label before the jump. So this is the end label, and this is the else label. And we want to jump to the else label. So meaning we have end label and else label, and then we just check nodes.if statement.else label. We jump to the else label if it's false, and else we just jump to the end. And in here, when we have an else statement, we want to generate the else label. And we want to jump to end label before that. So IR emit, IR jump to end label. And we can do this else basically, right? No. 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 We also need the end label. If we actually... Yeah, we always need the end label. Why did I think that we... Whatever. Yeah, so this now makes way... or was... did you... This... Wait... Bro. This makes way more sense now when having the else label inside of the if statement. Like the else statement inside of the if statement. Did you have some macro to... Yeah, I already left it. Or was it IR stuff? Wait, is that some preprocessor magic that automatically iterates over? Yeah, that's actually kind of magical. So what we are doing is we are defining an IR list as just X, IR load in a string. So we basically have a string for each label that is basically assigned to that enum. Then we use IR list, but we define X as just being name, meaning we get this for the enum, right? Then IR strings, we define X as being name and string in a braces, and then we just basically have the list be as braces, right? Because we have the IR strings as a struct of string and type, and then we can easily say IR type to string by iterating the IR strings. Did you go to uni or are you self-taught? I go to school. I'm 17, so I'm self-taught. Yeah. Okay. So let's check our if statement again. Okay, when we have an if statement, we generate the condition. Then we generate both labels, like the at least like the label number. Yeah. Bro, sorting. You're literally on the same wavelength, man. That's so cool, retalk. Okay, so basically we are generating for the then, and we want to jump to the end label if we don't have an else statement, and we jump to the else label when we have an else statement. Then we have an else statement, we want to jump to end label. We want to generate that so that when we fall through to the So basically, if it's not false, so if it didn't jump, then we want to jump after the if statement because we don't want to execute the else. And then we have the else label, and then we generate for the else statement. Yeah. YouTube recommended file with parachute. Nice. So DL symbol loading could be done with this. So only one piece needs update. Neat. What do you mean? I don't really get it. but yeah, kind of neat, I guess. All right. This is still working, the normal if, right? Still working. Okay, so then we kind of need to do IR jump, and IR jump just jumps to a label and without operator. And by the way, where's IR jump? Okay, no, IR jump, yeah, okay, yeah, just jumps to a label, and yeah. Okay, so let's try else. Okay, we jump if false. So if false, we jump to label v1, meaning we jump to the else, right? And then we have a const store, and okay. Yeah, where's the jump? Where's the jump? Where is the jump? here. So we generate for the else statement, but generating for the else statement didn't do anything. Why? Probably because the else statement is an else node, and the else node is just ignored. So what we should probably do is we don't want an else node. We just want an else, basically an else block, right? So let's have an else block and a then block. Okay, and the then block, and it's going to be the else block, and it's the else block. And yeah, we could probably do something like if statement. Yeah, something like that, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then we don't emit an else node at all. So then block, else block, and the AST doesn't even have an else then. And emitting an else node is just that. And where do we emit else nodes? Here. So we just say that. Wait. Yeah. Block. By the way, are you able to parse mathematical expressions now? Yeah, I implemented that. With that, you know, the stream in the morning, I had this one Python tutorial, or like general like expression parsing tutorial on my desk. I was using that, and now I basically implemented exactly what they did in Python. Exactly this. It's just that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so we basically don't have else nodes anymore. And this is just else block, then block, else block, else block. All right. So we jump if false, we jump to label L1. Okay, we definitely print labels wrong. But we don't print them wrong. So we jump to L1. Ah, bro, I'm dumb. Here, I just read it wrong. Here is label L1, here is label L0. And here we jump to L0, and it's all good. Okay, let's see if it's automatically doing else ifs. Ah, bruh. Already, like, I'm so dumb. I did that again. Bro, whatever. Okay, so K. Let's say L. So we load K, then we jump if false to label L1, and label L1 is after the variable declaration, and here we jump to label L0. Label L0 is here. Then we do then we load L, and we jump if false to label L2, and label L2 is just after the okay. Yeah, it's cool, but I think L2 and L0 should converge into the same label, but I don't know how the fuck you would implement that. Yeah, this is like, we are only in TAC IR, right? So stuff like this, I think, is not part of the TAC. It's more like part of optimization, like converging labels and stuff. But maybe I'm also very dumb. I don't know. How did you learn programming? I wrote a Java game when I was 9. Yeah. That's how I got into programming. What are your sources for building this? Mainly the like one article I showed in the beginning. Not the beginning, the end of the beginning stream, meaning the end of the morning stream. And then, like, for lexing, my main source was actually Fenrir, which is a kind of a browser which I made, but it's not really a browser, it's just like some kind of fun project because I wanted to use my old UI framework for something. And I basically implemented a CSS parser, stuff like that. And then I thought that, why not make an AST out of it? And I also made an AST out of that actually in here, but it's like more a DOM tree, and it's kind of the same thing, right? Let's actually try and run that. Can we not run that? /Fenrir. Okay. What are we doing again? Let's load motherfuckingwebsite.com. And let's have this away. And I think we set HTML to some weird thing. Yeah. Let's go to Rave and make quickly. Okay, let's go into Rave. Wait. Rave vendor. Okay. Because it's using a custom build of the UI engine. What the fuck? I just wanted to. Thank you. This is a motherfucking website. And stuff's not really working. But this is due to it not being updated to the current extent. Yeah, that's basically why did I even show this? What the fuck? This is why I this is my source for the programming language I'm currently writing. Casually shows self-made HTML renderer, bro. Yeah, I would like, it's actually way better than that. Like, real talk. Wait, do I have it on GitHub maybe? Yeah, I can check here. Because this is not the latest version, I promise. Wait. I think I didn't upload it. No. Oh, 2 days ago? Let's just remove that, right? Yeah. Vibe coding a C compiler and C until we get a junior pos. What do you mean by that? Yeah, this version didn't even have SSL. Okay, yeah, this is I basically tested the text shaping engine of my UI framework, where you can easily have paragraphs that have fonts with fallbacks and italics in the middle of the text, basically. So what a browser needs, right? And I don't know if that version supports actually rendering a page, but it should. So let's not render that paragraph. If it doesn't, I just don't care anymore, man. Let's actually render just that simple website, because I don't know if it can actually render the man page. .com. Yep. And look, you even have a scroll bar, and all of the text shaping is done custom. Like, it's the entire UI framework is custom. What distro is this? It's Arch, man. Sorry. And the HTML renderer is just 1,300 lines of code. I actually want to develop it further because, yeah, but I didn't because it was just really messing with me. Because the entire point of that HTML renderer was to just have a use case for Rave, which is this like a large library that I wrote, which is like an entire like UI system. And the bar here is also using that, which is actually a very good use case for the system. But yeah, that's why I wrote that. Good luck on what you're doing, but this is the point. But what is the point on making this on C? What do you mean, what is the point? How are you so good at only 17, like writing C code, your own UI library? Yeah, man. I just like to code. All right. Okay, I think the if statements are now working. I think this is like literally what I wanted to do this stream, but let's not call it a day yet. Let's actually rewrite, not rewrite, but actually have something like ir.h and actually correctly do that, because currently we're just doing it in the main, which I always do for all these systems, so that I don't have to worry about abstracting when I actually want to write code. So let's have all that be in ir.h. How can I view the first stream? Go to the channel. The last stream before this stream was the last stream. Yeah, so then you can basically view it. Bist du Deutsch? Yes. German. Yeah. Hallo. Okay. Never mind, I got it. I never noticed the live tab. Ah, interesting. Okay. I'm wondering, isn't there some man page for size T? Because std-dev, thank you. Because I was always including uni std just for size. So let's remove all of uni std includes. Right? Like that. And like that. Okay. So let's have IR function, IR program, be in ir.h. And IVAR. Yeah. Let's have this definitely be all the way at the bottom. And let's just copy all of this and have it in ir.c and have hash include ir.h and hash include lex.h. Too many errors submitted. Okay, because we are including lex. Or okay, we still have 20 errors or what? So include ast. Ah, okay, it's because of that. Okay, so I hash include like stdio. Still 14. Hash include base. Okay, and then hash include sclib. Hash include assert. Okay, so let's first have this be static. And let's have it also be static in here. And let's also have all of them be static, at least in the declaration. Like that. Wait. No, that's correct. Okay. Like that. So then we have a static func init. Let's have all of them be nicely formatted like this. Yeah. IR program init. IR emit. IR func add will be the next one, and then we will only have IR gen left. Very, very cool, right guys? Okay, so IR gen. Okay, is this a good structure? Probably not really, because like func add, we should probably have that like this: program init and emit. Like that. What about comp times, like in Zig or J? You mean compile times? Like how long it's going to take to compile? I'm not really bothered with that in my language, because the main goal is to be fast, or like reasonably fast in runtime. Okay. Let's have a program. Okay, let's have func add just be here. Compile time code execution. I don't really know what you mean by that. We're not doing that. Or do you mean like we have comp time at all? Do you mean like you probably mean basically things that are evaluated in compile time, right? You mean that? This is like optimization stuff. Like for example, when you have just constants and you fold them. Whatever. What keyboard do you use? The Apple Maker P75. Okay, so let's look through the code a bit. So func add looks good. So I think the main thing is IR gen. Yeah. We should probably have something like handling all of this ourselves. So let's have let's first have this all be a switch statement. So node type, and let's have case AST block, case AST program, case AST call. We will just gen the children and have this like that, and then we can say case AST function, and yeah, and then we will have IR value, IR gen func, struct IR program, struct IR function, func, struct AST node, and IR gen func will basically do exactly that, and return. Yeah, we can return new func, I guess. Or we probably can say something like IR value, but this kind of doesn't really make sense. So let's just return 0, because like what kind of IR value are we supposed to get from that? I don't know. We're not even using it. So let's just have, what OS are you using? Is it Hyperland? No, it's my own custom window manager, Ragnar, and Arch. IR gen func, program func node break, and in my current project I have an enum with 4096 variants, because type safety. My LSP takes 10 seconds before updating now. What? Okay. What's the project, man? Why did you need so many enums? this was for a bin op, right? So IR gen bin op. Heyo, welcome Midnight Brewery, welcome. Okay, generating bin op is just that. We should probably return that. Somewhere I gotta encode all the risk v control and status register addresses in a enum. Okay. Okay. Let's have AST binop return IRGen binop. How can I learn zero? What you would do if you were a beginner like me? I would just write code. Just go to your computer now and write your code, man. Make a goal of writing a CSS parser in the next day. And this is like going to spike your cortisol so much that you will be so stressed out and like just learn it, right? You're going to like check how do you write a CSS parser, and then you're going to learn. And that's what I would do. Just have a random project that is somehow interesting. CSS parser is just like a random thing that just came to my mind. Gen const. Okay. Case st const. Wait. Okay, it's for numbers. Return IRGen const program func node. Vardekel. Yeah, look here. I also had the problem of thinking like value. Like, yeah, it's ignored, right? But maybe in the spirit of that, we should also do the same for the function. Okay. Vardekel. Holy mole. You are the writer of Ragnar. Yes. Yeah. Holy mole, bro. What is that? Never heard of that. Actually, very cool. Gen Vardekel. Yeah, okay, let's just call it that. I've used Ragnar on my ThinkPad for a solid year. It was really nice. Thanks for building it, I guess, LMAO. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Really great to hear it. Actually great. I was trying to sound like holy moly. Holy, yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, let's have ASTIF, and ASTIF is just this, which is like our largest, I guess. So let's just have that, and IRGenIf. And we return, what do we return, man? Like return. Let's just return 0 because what the fuck. Are you planning to add float support to your language sometime in the future? Yeah, probably yes. Yeah, like yes. I have to really like structure everything and think through how I would do everything. I like the roadmap is also already pretty clear, but the concrete milestones are not. And I think adding floats is some concrete milestone that is not something like you would put on a roadmap, I guess. So I didn't really think about it yet. Yeah, this is all we are handling, right? Okay, we can kind of now remove that. And in the spirit of what we basically did here, let's have something like if not program or not node, we return 0. We should probably assert at this point, right? Because returning 0 really doesn't make sense. Also in C, you don't need default break inside of a switch statement. I recently learned it's just undefined behavior, just will do nothing. Yeah, it isn't undefined behavior. Yeah, but like the compiler complains, so do we need func here? Yeah. Ragnar is so popular. Yeah. Program func node. So program node and func. Yeah. Program func node the same. So let's do that. Yeah. I think this is it for the ir.c. So now we actually need ir gen to be here, and also we also want a ir print with a program. So ir, so let's say int 8t ir print all struct ir program, and where is ir gen? Conflicting types. Okay, so let's include AST also in ir.h, right? And then let us go here and print the IR. So let's have a int 8t ir print all struct ir program. Let's call it ir program because it was called ir program, so that we can just, yeah, fuck it, man. So program dots will be actually ir program dot will now be program like this, and we will return 0, and then if not program we return 1. This is that, right? And then we want eva.c to just include IR And okay, IR program in it definitely needs to be non-static. So let's have it be non-static. Is this on GitHub? It's not, but it will be in like after the stream when I can actually make it public on my phone, because my GitHub is requesting GitHub Mobile, but I can't use GitHub Mobile because my cam is being used as a, like my phone is being used as a cam. Yeah. Because it's currently private. Okay, so IR print all and IR type to string. Let's have IR type to string definitely be just a static function that is just up here. And where is program init? It's definitely going to be called in, wait, where's that? Why is it not, man? Okay, so after that, right? So yeah. All right, let's see if it still works. Nope, didn't work. What? Ah, because we don't print it. Stupid. Okay, so let's print the IR program. Yeah. Okay. So what happened, man? Didn't we do exactly that? Oh. IR const is not correctly being done. Why? Will we have a number? Do we print AR const? Yeah. Okay. Is it because when we have an identifier, we generate for the value, but I mean, is it so bad that we actually return? Can we not do that? But I really don't see why we shouldn't. Dude, you didn't say, would you make a video on SQLite or not? No, probably not. I never used SQLite. Why are the consts not being... What? What? This makes no sense. Is the recursion not correctly working? How to choose proper programming language rather than choose what people suggest. Error in IR generation. Yeah, I would just. I don't know, man. Like it's really about what you're trying to do. Like actually, that's like the literally only question. What are you trying to do? What is the most efficient way to do it? And if you already know a programming language, most of the time the most efficient way is just doing it in the language you already know. You know? Also, why is it now? Why does it get bigger? Did it get bigger? Am I just delusional or something? Why doesn't this work anymore? It's always like you restructure code and it just doesn't work anymore. Segmentation fault. Never saw that in this project. Okay, I think we are forced to go back here and check how we did it so that actually it will work. Okay, so where is our IR? We can probably say something like, just literally do this, and then we will just literally do this, and just literally do this, and just literally make it work again. Thank you. Now it works. Okay, so what if we just say irgen func program func node? Still works. And what if we do irgen binop program func node? Still works. And when we do return irgen const program func node, still works. And vardecal I think this is going to be the interesting one. Yeah, it still works. So what the fuck was the problem? Is it something with the switch statement? Ah, identifiers. I think we didn't even have that. irgen ident, we don't have that. This was the problem. All right. So IRGen ident, does the identifier need everything? It doesn't need the program, right? Does it need the program? No. Program? Program? No. Okay. So we will see return IRGen ident program func node. And here we will just say turn IRGen if, yeah, you're right, program func node. Let's yeah, but not really. Or actually, yeah, for recursive functions, yes. Specifically for this function, it's yes. Either error in IR generation. Okay, this still totally just works, right? What is it going to compile? This file. Let's remove that. And for a final touch, we will remove this. And we will return for all of those. And we will try and check if that still works. Okay, so we will remove that. And say hash includes ir.h and remove this and say ir print all program. Okay, it's still the same. Now for this, yeah, okay. Final showdown, we will do the switch. Switch node type case ast block case ast program case ast call break case ast function case ast binop case ast number case ast vardekel. This is so interesting. I'm sure this is like very interesting. This is like the most interesting part of this session today. I think, yeah, it's very important. This is probably what we missed last time, AST ident, which is why it didn't work. AST if. And now for the like final touch. Look. Perfect. Whoa. What? Why did it increase in size? Did it increase in size? I think I'm just delusional, right? Yeah, this still seems correct. Alright, guys, cool. One thing. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay, nice. So let's have git dot git commit dash IR for conditionals. Okay. Okay. Done. Alright, guys, this is it for the stream today. I hope you liked it. And yeah, until next stream, where we will probably keep on with while and stuff like that, but eventually implement SSA. Alright, bye bye.